Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott, I'm the Emperor of Stomaria, and today I'm making this video to encourage you to become a citizen of the Empire of Stomaria. Now, for our more regular viewers, you will notice that the setup has changed a little bit. I still don't think it's quite there yet. I do like the fact that we can see more of the flag now, but it's just a bit too empty here, you know what I mean? Maybe like the corner of a picture or something. I did have a particular painting that I wanted to put up there, but I am, being me, exceptionally paranoid about the possibility of some sort of copyright infringement or using someone's artwork without their permission in a video, and having to take all the videos that we use in the future down because of that corner of that painting. So maybe we'll have something more generic up there. Maybe we'll even have a little family portrait, or maybe just a big picture of me, so you can see me twice in one video. But we'll have a little tinker with that and see how we go. But this video, why am I making this video? I am making this video because we want to more rapidly expand the size of Stomaria, the number of people involved as Stomarian citizens, as Stomarian nobles, as lords and ladies, in order to start building the community that we want to build. I mean, we have quite a significant support base on paper. We have over 5,000 people that follow us on Facebook. And now that we're posting a bit more regularly, there is a lot more engagement on our Facebook page. We have, over 1,250 people on our YouTube channel, and we're getting quite consistent, views and watch hours and likes and comments and stuff on a lot of the videos that we do. But it is always a struggle. I don't think just for Micronations, but for political parties or charitable organizations or just organizations in general, or businesses in general. There is a difference between generating that sort of traction on social media and turning that traction into real results. And that's not something that we've been able to do successfully, in my opinion, in a major way at least. I mean, there have been people who have contributed financially to the project in the past, which we are very, very grateful for. And we do have a handful of citizens that are contributing regularly through our Patreon campaign, which is how you become a citizen in the first place, as I'm sure many of you will already know. But it's just not, the numbers aren't reflected, I don't think, as accurately as they could be. With the sort of following that we have, we should be well into the double digits, I should think. And I think maybe this is my fault a little bit. Maybe I haven't pushed this as much as I should have. I have made videos in the past where I have said that, and it is true, the number of citizens that Micronation has doesn't necessarily mean anything, in the sense that there is no, there's not a single definition of what constitutes a citizen. Some people call it, YouTube subscribers and Facebook followers. They all just define all of those as citizens. Some people will just have like an online form they can fill in. There's no checks, there's no fees or anything like that, and then they become citizens that way. There are some people that do charge for citizenship and or for titles, which can be a regular recurring payment or just a one-off payment that people make. I mean, there is really no sort of set way that micronations define their citizens. But the one thing that I think is important for micronations to have are citizens that add value to the project. And the way that we've set up the Patreon campaign, where people can become citizens and nobles without any involvement from me or anyone else, they can simply go onto Patreon and become a citizen. The way that we've sort of worked it is because they are obviously paying they're making a monthly pledge, they're making a monthly contribution, a donation, a form of voluntary tax, whatever way you want to describe it. They are contributing financially to the project. And all of the funds that is raised through our Patreon campaign, so all the citizens and nobles, all their fees, the ad revenue from our YouTube channel, the real world economic activities that we have in terms of, eventually, selling eggs or chickens or selling lumber, logs or whatever else, the real world economic activities that we do, or indeed the sale of our merchandise on the imperial market. All of these funds go into a singular account, and that is going to be used for the purchase of additional territory for Stomaria. And I think that is the crux of the issue there, is that even though that the citizens that we have are adding value to the project because they are contributing financially, they may also get involved in the project in a more active way. But even if they're inactive, as long as they are a citizen, every month they are contributing something. And that's what matters to us, people that are adding value to the project, literal value to the project. But the issue, I think, is that in order to be able to get to a point where we can purchase more land, more territory, and develop ourselves further and faster, it's a numbers game. There's no two ways about it. We need 5 citizens contributing monthly is not going to have the same impact as 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 citizens. I mean, it's a game changer when we get to that sort of level, because it means we could potentially look at purchasing additional plots of land on an extremely regular basis all over the country, and get citizens. Once you get to that number of citizens, there's bound to be people who are active and involved in it, and those people can become governors of particular provinces around the country. I mean, that is what we're looking to do. That is the game plan. That is a long-term game plan. And I think I did mention this at the beginning of 2022 in our video, our plans for 2022, that trying to get the ball rolling with raising more revenue through the sale of more merchandise and the recruitment of more citizens in order to purchase more land, those are the 3 sort of primary objectives that we have for this year. And so I want to really ramp up our efforts in terms of recruitment, in terms of getting more people involved. And so I would encourage you, if you are a supporter of Stomaria and you want, if not to get involved in the project, want to actively support us through a small regular financial contribution, then do so through our Patreon campaign. We have kept the fees as low as we could reasonably expect. It's a lot lower than what Patreon itself has recommended that we charge. But it is just a token gesture. I mean, obviously, if you are struggling financially, or if you are not in a position to contribute anything, if you need to focus on yourself, I completely understand that. It is a bit of a messed up world that we live in at the moment. In terms of the pandemic and all the nasty results that have come with that. But if you are in a position to contribute financially, if you are someone that supports the project, then please do go to our Patreon campaign, become a citizen or even a noble. That's only for sort of top tier dedicated individuals. So don't feel pressured into doing that, but certainly becoming a citizen would be a great help to us. In terms of what we can offer, I think one of the problems that we've had is that I think some people who, it's not many, granted, but I think some people that become citizens or want to look towards becoming a citizen, their first question is, what's in it for me? And I suppose that's an understandable and reasonable response if you don't quite understand what we're doing or how we're going about doing it. But I think the best way to describe a membership of Stomaria, if you like, becoming a citizen of Stomaria, it's akin to joining a political party, in the sense that there is no, financial reward for you necessarily. There is no, massive incentive on that front. But if you support what the political party is doing, if you support their ideals, their values, their objectives, and you want to see them succeed, and you want to play a part in it in some way, even if it is just through a small financial contribution every month or every year, then, that's what a lot of people do. And that's what, broadly speaking, we have set up the Empire of Stomaria's citizenship to be like. Now, obviously, it does go a bit further than this, because what we're looking to do is establish a real-world community, and citizens are going to hopefully play an increasingly large role in that development going forward. So, for instance, as we gradually purchase more and more land, more and more territory, we want citizens to be able to utilize that territory themselves. So, I have used examples in the past of a citizen joining Stomaria, we purchasing a small plot of land near where they reside. They can use that land to promote our values and objectives, but also benefit personally from it. So they will become a governor of that territory, of that province. And then they can, plant vegetables or plant fruit trees, or, depends on where it is and what it can be used for. Put solar panels, raise livestock, a wind turbine. I don't know. It depends on where the land is, or it depends where the territory is. And what it can be utilised for from a legal macronational perspective. But, citizens getting involved in that way, as well as, eventually, having these meetings, gatherings, groups of people coming together, maybe setting up stalls or little markets, or, using the land in some way to promote a business idea that aligns with our core values and objectives. This is what I would like to see. And as I've mentioned in the past, Stomarian citizens, there's a lot of definitions of what constitutes a Stomarian citizen, in the sense that you can simply become a citizen through our Patreon campaign. You can also become a citizen by becoming a Stomarian noble. But if you are a part of another micronation, especially the highest authority of another micronation, you can still become a citizen of Stomaria. In fact, if you are the highest authority of another micronation, and you contact us beforehand, then you can become a Stomarian citizen, and you can have your micronation incorporated into the Empire of Stomaria, which is exactly what we've done with the Kingdom of Wayward and the Kingdom of Norwick, who have become an associated state and an observer state, respectively. I have made several videos about this before, but we are, the Empire of Stomaria consists of, at least in part, other micronations. So obviously the Kingdom of Norwick and the Kingdom of Wayward are examples of that, but the three kinds of micronation that will be involved are protectorates, associated states, and observer states. Feel free to go and watch our previous videos on the definitions of those, or go to our website for, so you can see what exactly we're doing and how we're structured. But the long and short of it is, if you want to become a part of Stomaria, if you want your micronation to become a part of Stomaria, the Stomarian Empire, then that is possible to do so. You just need to let me know, and we can discuss the matter further. There are various criteria and terms and conditions attached to all of this, but again, if there's something you're interested in, it is something we can discuss. And this is our way of trying to build some semblance of genuine unity within the micronational community, because I think the main driver of this is about trying to build a community, building an empire of commerce, of trade, and of enterprise. So if you're interested in, exchanging goods and services in a micronational setting, then we in Stomaria have the potential to allow for that. Not least because of our the production of the Stomarian stater coin, the silver Stomarian stater coin. It is a form of sound money. So if you don't want to utilize your macronation's fiat currency, the pound, the euro, the dollar, whatever else, but you don't want to use micronational fiat currency, i.e. bits of paper that someone's printed off at home, but you want to use gold and silver, then you can actually use gold and silver that has a micronational flair to it. It's literally, the Stomarian stater coins are silver coins with the name and the emblem, or the symbols of Stomaria, and at the moment the Kingdom of Wayward stamped on them. So again, that is just something to think about going forward. If you did want to become a part of Stomaria, but retain your title and retain the existence of your micronation, but become an autonomous part of Stomaria in order to play a part in our development and growth, and hopefully in turn your own development and growth, then please feel free to drop me a message and let me know. Because becoming a Stomarian citizen, as well as being the highest authority of another micronation, means that you can become a part of Stomaria in a more significant way. But for those people who just want to become what you might call pure Stomarians, people who aren't involved in another micronation, but nevertheless want to become a part of the Stomarian community for, you know, either that particular reasons, economic reasons, or simply as a show of support for the project, then again, please feel free to get involved. I could go on and on and on about this, but ultimately I think if you do support what the Empire of Stomaria is doing, then you probably already know a lot about us. You probably know what we're striving to do. You hopefully have taken some value out of what we have done in the past, be that through our videos or some of the giveaways in terms of merchandise and all the rest of it that we've done in the past. But I suppose what I'd ask is that if you are interested in supporting the project in a meaningful way, and you don't want to see me getting my hands and knees every few months to encourage you to become involved in the project, then please feel free to become involved directly by becoming a citizen through our Patreon campaign, the link of which I shall leave in the description below, as always. But otherwise, if you did enjoy this video, then please feel free to give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.